I'd never had enough of Oasis. I'd had enough of him. And our whole relationship was never as bad as people made out, you know. But it wasn't like, you know, we weren't like Milli Vanilli, do you know what I mean? Or whatever that means, I don't know, but I assume they got on. But it kind of all started to unravel, if I'm being honest, when he started his clothing label. And he demanded that in the Oasis tour program that he be allowed to advertise it, which I was against, because I didn't think that it was right for him to be flogging his gear to our fans. And there was a massive row about that. And it kind of went back and forward for a bit, as I remember it. And in the end, I said, "All right, well, if you want to advertise in the program, how much?" And he couldn't get his head around that. And I was like, "Well, if you know, Electrolux kettles, you know, want to advertise kettles in the tour program, they pay us money, right? So how much are you going to pay me?" And he hit the roof, and it slowly went downhill from there. And the night in Paris, it was, you know, he didn't turn up to the V Festival gig because he had an hangover. You know, he claimed he had laryngitis, but whatever, you know. And there was a lot of bad press around that. And in his own head, he thinks that I'm some kind of fucking puppet master who controls the media in England. So we get to Paris, and he starts saying, and he's reeling off journalists' names, and some of you are in this room. And there's all manner of people I'd never met, you know, "You fucking tell Johnny Borrell's moustache I want to kick his fucking head in." And it's just like, what? I don't know what you're going on about. "Hey, I'm Elvis Costello." And you're just like, "What? He's fucking off his head." And it kind of went a bit, it was a bit like that, you know, and it was quite violent. At that point, there hadn't been any physical violence, but it was kind of, you know, it's a bit like WWE wrestling, and he was like the Macho Man Randy Savage, do you know what I mean? There was a lot of, "Oh yeah," and all that gear going on, and it's like, fucking hell, you know. And I'll never forget, there's all this kind of toing and froing going on, and I'm looking at Andy, who sat there, constantly counting how many shoes he's got on, not saying a word, and I'm like, fucking hell, you know what I mean? And he didn't say anything. And Liam kind of just there, "Well, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you," and all that again. And he kind of storms out of the dressing room, but on the way out, and I'm glad it never ended like this, on the way out, he picked up a plum. And he threw it across the dressing room, and it smashed against the wall. Now, part of me wishes it kind of did end like that, because that would have been a fucking great headline, you know. Plum throws plum and finishes fucking Oasis, do you know what I mean? And so then he kind of leaves, he goes out the dressing room, and for whatever reason, he went to his own dressing room, and he came back with a guitar and started wielding it like an axe, and I'm not fucking kidding. And I make light of it because it's kind of, you know, it's kind of what I do, but it was just it's a real unnecessary violent act, and he's swinging this guitar around, and he kind of, you know, he nearly took my face off with it, you know, and it ended up on the floor, you know, and I put it out of its misery, you know, and then I said, you know, well, look, there was people who were in the band not saying anything, kind of looking the other way. It wasn't even a big dressing room, do you know what I mean? We were all involved in it, and nobody was saying anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm fucking out of here, you know. And at that point, the tour manager came in and just went, 5 minutes. And I kind of walked out, and I got to apologise to Chaz Smash from Madness here, because as I was walking out, he was kind of came up and went, "Oh, all right, mate." And I might have told him to fuck off. And if you're watching this, which you're probably not, or listening to, I'm really sorry about that, but it was kind of a stressful afternoon. And I kind of got in the car, and I sat there for 5 minutes, and I just said, "Fuck it, that's it. I can't do it anymore." You know, And I regret it really, because we only had 2 gigs left. If I had my time again, I'd have gone back and done the gigs. That gig would have been dreadful because he was out of his mind, you know. I'd have done that gig and I'd have done the next gig, and we'd have all gone away, and we could have probably discussed it, what we were going to do. We may never have split up. We may just have taken a hiatus, and we could have all gone and done our other thing. But Liam always said he would bring down Armageddon in the end. That's the way he kind of likes things to be, you know. And there you go. And it's a shame, because I was comfortable in that band. I'd perfected that role of that guy who just stood on the right and played the lead guitar and done backing vocals and sang the odd acoustic. I fucking mastered that. It took me 18 years. 18 years it took me to fucking get that right. And I was brilliant at it. And if anybody came to the last tour, you'll know, I mean, I was fucking great. But at the end of the day, he's obviously not, he doesn't like me, you know, but he doesn't like me in a violent way. I don't get on with him, you know what I mean? But he kind of takes it to a level which, for me, there's no point in being in a band with people who you fight with. What's the point? You know, just go on and do bigger tours and make more fucking money, you know, and then just always be arguing about shit, you know, it's just nonsense. So I kind of did everybody a favour, you know, and I left, and I spoke to Gem since, and Chris Sharrock. I haven't seen the other 2, and there we go, and here we are.